Hello ATM fam, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at an unidentified male from California. It's part of our Doe Network series. Let's take a look at the interesting place he was found, how little is known about him, and a medical condition he may have had that might help identify him. First, let's start out with this young man was discovered on May 2nd, 1984 in Glendora, which is in the Los Angeles County, California. His estimated date of death was sometime in between 1983 and when he was discovered on May 2nd, 1984. He is estimated to be between 2 and 4 years old. He's white with possible Asian blood in him. The sex is actually unknown, but it's most likely that he was a male child. His height was 3'6". His weight is unknown. His hair was dark brown to black, 2 inches long and straight. His eye color is unknown. And here's the medical condition. He likely suffered from hydrocephalus or hydrocephalus, depending on which side of the country you're from, I think. But anyway, what that is water on the brain. It causes the child's head to swell up. Your brain is covered in cerebral spinal fluid, and there are little valves which cause that fluid to be circulated between your spinal column and your brain. But when those valves don't work and your brain cannot drain off the moisture, the fluid, then your face and your head start to swell. Now, the treatment for that is to put a shunt in the brain which captures the excess fluid and drains it down into your stomach, into your abdominal area, and sometimes into the stomach itself, so it can be evacuated from your body when you urinate. And that will keep your head from swelling, and it will keep brain damage from occurring and that sort of thing. So it's most likely that he suffered from this condition. The dentals are available, so there must have been some teeth and parts of the jaw that were found. His fingerprints and DNA are not available. His clothing is unknown. It's unknown if he had any jewelry on, but probably not at that young age unless he had his ears pierced. And there are unknown additional personal items. Now here are the circumstances of his discovery. The child's skeletal remains were found on the pavement of Glendora Mountain Road, approximately 100 feet north of mile marker 33, near the San Gabriel Canyon. Now on my map, I found Glendora Mountain Road. I found San Gabriel Canyon. Now I've never been to California, so I've certainly never been to that geographical location, but you can see how winding and twisted the roads are because they're going in and out of the mountains. And some of the curves on those roads are amazing. But they seem to be both the road that leads actually closest to San Gabriel Canyon and Glendora Mountain Road both seem to be fairly well traveled. So I don't know. I mean, it might be worth imagining that maybe the child died even of natural causes somewhere in or near his home, and then after a while, whoever had him, his parents or whoever, just brought his remains out to Glendora Mountain Road and just dumped him in the road. Otherwise, certainly they would have been discovered way before that. So I'm just putting that out there. I don't know that to be a fact. I have no idea where but he was found on the pavement, so it doesn't make any sense that he'd been there long enough to decompose and become skeletal, or someone would have found him before then. And of course, probably at that point, they can't determine really the cause of death unless he'd been, killed with a knife or a gun, and that sometimes leaves marks on the bones. But if he had been, suffocated or strangled or, drowned or whatever, or died of natural causes, which is a possibility too. We can't say that he wasn't. Those kinds of things may never be discovered. Anyway, if you think you recognize this young man from this picture, now this is a rendering because he was skeletal when he was found, remember? So this is a rendering of what he probably looked like, an approximation, hopefully a close one, to what he may have looked like. And he had to have gone missing sometime in 1983 or the beginning of 1984. Again, he was found on May 2nd, 1984. If you know anything or think you recognize this picture, or you know of somebody in the Azusa, city of Azusa, that area, that region of California that had a child that was 2 years old or 3 years old or maybe even 4 years old, and then suddenly they didn't, get a hold of the LA County Sheriff's Department Homicide Bureau at 323-890-5500. You can mail them at homicideops@lasd.org. They do not have a case number for this person. The number that in the DOE network that's assigned to him is 2409 UMCA. And I explained what those numbers mean before. The UM stands for unidentified male, and CA stands for the state in which the body was found, which in this case, of course, is California. NCIC has a case number U330018694. NamUs has a case number 4231, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC, has a case number 1110803. If you know something, say something. Let's give this poor child a name and find out what happened to them back in the mid-'80s. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel, please. That would be so nice. And if you have a comment, please keep it respectful. You don't have to agree with me. But I ask that you respect the people reading the comments and respect me and my channel. Thanks very much. All the numbers will be in the description box below, the LA County Sheriff's Department and the case numbers for the other organizations, and the DOE case number will all be in the description box. Hope you have a lovely day, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.